Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made, your way.
A very pleasant good morning, curling fans, and welcome to the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton, Alberta. It's the Saville Grand Prix. So happy that you're joining us.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made, your way.
And welcome back, curling fans, to the Saville Community Sports Center. After that false start, you are here with us on Curling Stadium. Dave Schmel, and joined by Sean Joyce. And Sean, I can actually get to say hi to you now.
Well, we said hi off the air, but now we get to say it on the air, I guess. Yeah, and looking forward to another exciting weekend of women's curling action. Although I got to tell you, this was maybe, for me, not the greatest choice of games to do first thing in the morning on a Friday, because I haven't had breakfast yet, and the lead for the Grey Withers team is Zoe Cinnamon, and I hear cinnamon, and so now I'm hungry, and and I guess I'm stuck for 2.5 hours before I can go find myself a cinnamon bun. But that's what I want now.
And here we are. It is Team Grey Withers, which does have the aforementioned Zoe Cinnamon as the lead. Lindsay Burgess is second, Catherine Clifford the third, and Serena Grey Withers the skip. They are throwing the Yellowstones here. They're facing Corryn Brown, throwing the red, with Erin Pincott the third, Sarah Colton the second, and Samantha Fisher at lead. We have Connor Sims handling our production duties today. And so happy to be joining you for the second weekend in a row from the Saville Community Sports Center.
Yeah, it's something we didn't see a lot, at least the games that I did, and I did a fair number of games last weekend. Did not see this a lot last weekend, where teams were coming into the house in the first end and exchanging hits. We would occasionally see the play what we've come to call the delayed corner guard, where team might come in, you'd hit it once, and then you'd throw up the corner guard on the next one. But it looks like in this case, both teams content to maybe play this out for a blank. Worth noting.
Yeah, absolutely. We're up and down right here in the beginning. And it is worth noting exactly what you're about to note.
That Serena Grey Withers played in this event last weekend, so she's been on the ice. Corryn Brown didn't. And she's got last rock here, so that might have been part of their game plan, is that if we get a chance to get an end under our belt and just see the ice, feel what the draw weight's like, how it's running. Don't know whether they've had a chance to play much yet this year, so that might have been a conscious choice on their part, because they're playing a team that has been playing on this ice for probably over a week now. I would suspect Grey Withers has been on the ice in between. They are an Edmonton-based team.
So we continue to go up and down. The Grey Weathers team is, most of them were part of U of A last year, right?
Oh, you're asking the wrong guy.
Okay. I'm pretty sure most of them were from U of A last year.
That could be. There are so many of the women's teams on so many of the Alberta teams on the women's side have come through, or a lot of the players at least have come through that U of A program. And but I'm afraid the only way I can usually tell which ones they are is they've got, as you see in the left-hand side of the picture there, that green jacket with the big yellow A in the middle of it. Once they graduate the program, it is hard to remember which ones came through. A lot of them did. I'm in Saskatchewan. We don't get to see all of the Alberta teams all that often.
I actually did meet the lead for Grey Weathers, Zoe Cinnamon, in Cortina at the World Juniors. Shout out to her parents, Larry and Dawn Marie, who are likely watching right now.
You have to be a little careful with this peel. They're going to try to roll it into the rings, but the danger is you hit this too thick, you stuff it on that one that they left in play, and it might be a biter.
It does not remain the rings, rolls all the way across, so I'm going to throw the same rock up again.
Yeah, the call is to come in. I believe the call was to come in last time too. It would be tempting to throw it as a quarter guard actually, but that goes back to what we were saying, that perhaps Corryn Brown, having not played last week, wants to play this for a blank all the way. Sorry, Dave. It could be tough enough playing the hometown team in their own building in the middle of the season. So to do it here in September, when you probably haven't got a lot of rocks thrown yet, nobody. And we saw it last week too. There was some very good play, but nobody would have said that they're in midseason form. They just weren't, and that's still going to be the case.
Oh, absolute sure thing. I mean, I played in a Bonspiel, my own home club, and we're on green ice just as well, and home team certainly had the advantage just because we have a feeling for what our green ice will do way over anybody else. Hit and stick. So now here is Aaron Pincott, the third.
Looking for the little roll to the outside, but we're getting to the point in the end where they have to be really careful. You roll out here and you'll see Grey Withers try to stick one on the corner of that rock just out of the rings and see if she can't get a half a mistake and get a force here.
They did get the roll they were looking for, but
yeah, that's really good.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, this is just a little bit tricky now.
Yeah, it is. She'd love to hit it right on the nose. You hit this one right on the nose, Corryn Brown isn't going to be able to roll into the rings without risking the jam herself. So you just drive it by that one that's off the rings. Stay right there. You're only going to be about half in the 12-foot. Corryn Brown hits it on the nose again. She's probably not in the rings. Then you can draw over in that direction somewhere and maybe get a force out of it. Now that's what you'd like. But again, it's September. The first objective here is don't jam it. If you roll out, so be it.
You're giving them a lot of credit. The first objective for me would be to hit the stone.
Sweeping for line, so this must be in danger of the jam.
They're going to hit it. get the roll, but it's, oh, man. Just clears the brown rock.
Yeah. It's actually a red rock, but okay. I just think it's only 9:15 a.m. where I am.
So Corryn Brown throwing the red-colored stone with her next. Made of very decidedly gray granite with a blue hone insert.
Decidedly gray? You're not going to say that it's a withered gray?
No,
Okay.
no, it wasn't. You guys are in for this all weekend long, folks. Stay tuned on Curling Stadium.
You know, I've had this conversation. I've done provincials here since 2012 in Saskatchewan, and I've had the conversation with some of the coaches usually about, look, you better tell your team to throw guards in the first end, because if you don't, and we have an end like what we're seeing here, you don't know what I'm going to say.
I mean, I don't even have my normal fun facts ready right now, so it's all you.
Facts are for the week.
That invites a conversation I will not bring up. Trying to hold this one very hard for the line. They're going to grab it, get a slice of it. Well, hold on to the back. Yep. That's a flop.
Yeah. Really the difference between that Yellowstone that hangs on there and the redstone earlier on that you called a brownstone that rolled out was the amount of spin that it just coming across the face as it did. It just didn't pick up a big spin. That red one, when it left the rings, was spinning hard off the other stone that it hit. So the houses do look pretty lively, though. That rolled a long ways considering she did not throw that very hard.
And we saw that last week as well. So Corryn Brown, final stone of the first hand, looking for the blank. On this pretty much coast to coast, want to make sure they get the roll out, and they will not, and it's going to be the force to one. Grey Weathers will have the hammer in the second when we come back from Saville on Curling Stadium.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatoon in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
with the hammer after the force taken by Corryn Brown in the first end.
Not exactly a force, more of an unforced error. That is, though, what you see so often in the first end. So much of the end was played in the middle, and we had a few hits out in the middle or out on the edge. Fortunate, in a way, in where she rolled with her last one, because it was in a spot in the ice they hadn't seen it all yet. They didn't really know what it was going to do, and out of her hand, there was no panic on the brush by the time they did call it on. Too late.
You see the center guard up and one in the back of the 8-foot circle, so we're going to see a little bit of action this time, Sean.
Looks like it. Doesn't help for the Brown team, or pardon me, for the Grey Withers team that stone's deep, but you had to expect Brown was going to throw a guard and see what would happen. We've seen last week, at least, teams that would play this both ways, where they might ignore that, throw a corner guard. Certainly, if they're going to come around, they wanted it in the top half of the house. By putting it deep, like you said, we're going to see some rocks in play, but it turned the opportunity right back for the Steel, and this one's coming deep as well. They did not want to come down to this.
So I guess you would say it's better to be all the way down to it than have a little air space?
It depends, really, because, again, in this end, Brown doesn't have last rock. So even if she's just back button, and you want to be in front of the T-line, anything deep still gives Grey Withers a chance to get one in the top 4 foot behind cover first. But even if you're just biting the back button, at this point in the end, you've shrunk the rings, at which could be a factor later on. It could affect the strategy calls for the Grey Withers team later on. You can almost defend or divide an end, though, according to the free guard zone. There are what's going to happen in the first 5 shots, and then everything that happens after that, or at least the next few after that, are in reaction to what's sitting in the house at that time. This has got a lot of room. It'll walk coming in, but this has got a lot of room.
Now, we certainly saw that late finish. It just doesn't have enough steam left.
Yeah, they want to carve it, but they don't want to put it behind the tee line either.
It's going to end up right there, just touching the top of the tee line. So it'll be a draw down for Brown.
It's a shade deep, but, good shot for now. They got shot rock. It is all the way in front of the tee line. For Brown, they have to be a little careful here. You want to get slightly across the face. The hack view will show you the lineup on the red-yellow at the back. So you want to get the same kind of lineup on these two, so that if you ever have to hit the red, the yellow will clear the back. Things are getting a little congested in the middle right now, so I would expect Grey Withers is going to walk up and peel the guard on the next one. So you want to make sure your angles in the house are good if you're Brown here. It's not just get to the face. You want to get the angle right.
And we've seen this more and more in the 4-person team, that 4-person game, and that it's probably in my opinion, as you say, just a little tap back, a little heavier than they would have liked. But I think it's where the mixed doubles game has really evolved the 4-person game.
It has. I happen to know a few of the women that played the 4-player game, or the mixed doubles game, and they've all said every one of them that I've talked to has said that they feel like playing doubles has made them a better player in 4 players, because they've gotten used to playing shots that they maybe wouldn't have played before, and realizing, hey, these shots aren't as hard as we thought they were. If you manage them right, these shots can be made. In some cases, with some of the angles and some of the bigger weight shots, they're realizing that, hey, we can make these shots. Whereas before, they didn't necessarily believe that they could. A lot of those types of shots are ones where they think, oh, you have to throw these 100 miles an hour. Well, you don't in a lot of cases. Very few rocks need to be thrown that hard. A lot of cases, it's more a question of you just need to hit it in the right spot. It's less about how hard you hit it than it is where you hit it. This is an interesting call here. When that red flopped open, she's got the opportunity to make a play into the rings rather than play the guard, but I'm surprised she's opting to leave that red stone on the corner of the 4 foot like that. You make this shot and the red's going to get tapped up.
There's put a big scrub on this one.
expect Corryn Brown to come from that side. She's looking at the tap, but there's no reason to play it yet because there's nothing that Grey Withers can do on that side of the sheet. That's pretty good. You can see the angle from the overhead. The two reds are going to line up to catch a piece of that yellow at the back.
Yeah, the angles are certainly pretty favorable, so we're going to fire away here and basically see what happens.
Yeah, if she gets a straight peel, it's not the end of the world, but they're going to try to run red onto yellow and at least move some of those rocks around at the back. She might lose her rock at the back of the forefoot, but if this run is made properly, well, this is just going to be a straight peel now.
So on the way from Burgess, and it will just be that peel. And talking to some of the folks there interacting with us, and as apparently we might be having an earthquake at Saville, or the dehumidifier just kicked on, or heater. I don't see anybody panicking, so I'll assume it was something far more civil than that. But yeah, at my local club, I saw a good friend of mine who is absolutely petrified of throwing a draw, and threw fantastic draws all weekend, and it's purely because he's played more mixed doubles now. I actually walked up to the gentleman and said, "You should do this more." Just putting one back here.
Yeah, they just got to replace the guards. It's got a lot of rotation. That'll hold it a little straighter.
Getting that last little bit of finish, it's a shade deeper than they would have liked.
Yeah, probably. I mean, setup in the house, the angles aren't bad for Brown as it is, but these rocks are closer together now. There's a better chance she's making contact with the yellow at the top of the 12. If she can move the ones in the forefoot, again, they're probably not all leaving because I think the red's going to jam on the yellow at the back, but she could get rid of basically everything in front of the tee line. And now because they're closer together, she doesn't have to hit it quite as flush to do that. So probably even her shooter rolls off the center line a little bit.
Okay, so they're going to try to run the
red,
the yellow gray rock onto the red brown rock. Oh, just floats by.
Any touch on it would have been better than leaving it there, because essentially where it is, it's acting as a guard. Another chance to put up the guard. And one of the issues that they could potentially have here as they get later in the end, there's a lot more rotation, it seems, on this week. Erin Pincott. She seems to have more rotation on her stones than some of the others, so that they might have to take a different broom for her. They just barely got enough curl last time. They tightened up the ice this time, and it's going to overcurl on them.
That is wide open now.
Yeah, and the guard's pretty long on this ice. I think she's got to come direct after the yellow.
Yeah, I do think you can see enough.
Oh, you can for sure. There's a question now about which way you want to come at it. Like if you just try to stuff it on the one at the top of the forefoot, you might miss the one on the button.
And thank you so much, Connor, for getting away from the shaky camera. I'll try to see what the deal is with that.
Yeah, the gesture she's making suggests she's just trying to run it more or less straight back and hold the shooter. I'm not necessarily a fan of this. I think if you can move that one on the button now, you have to, and you don't really worry about... To move the one on the button, you've got to get across the face of the stone, hit it about half, drive it more or less across the face, or at least to the face of the second one, so that it comes more or less straight back. Well, then both yellows, your shooter and the raised stone, are going to roll away a bit. But if you just run this straight back, yes, you might pick the one off the top of the forefoot, but she's going to put another guard back up there, and you still can't get to the one with the button.
So past the guard, gonna run it back onto the pile. You massage the top one out there. It's still the brownstone right square in the button.
Yeah, you're probably in worse shape now.
And we're going to have our first mound visit of the day. A sticky situation. How do you get out of this?
Well, I mean, if you're brown, you don't have to get out of it. You just got to guard it, because right now she's got the double tap on the yellows. She'd still have to move the red to be shot. I don't know if she could move it far enough on one shot. If it was yellow throwing right now, you tap yellow onto red, but that red's going to jam at the yellow at the back of the button. And even the one on the top, it's only going to have half the forefoot. The one that you're going to tap back, the red that's going to jam, is still going to be all the way in the button. So right now you need 2 shots, if the other team didn't throw it all, to get that red stone off the button. Corryn Brown is going to just attempt to throw up a guard here and take the first one of them away. And then I think what Serena Gray Withers should play, and she might just peel guards, which won't do anything for her. Because again, you need 2 shots to get that rock off the button. Right now, she's only got 2 rocks left. So peeling a guard, even if you could peel both guards, you don't have enough rocks left after that to get that rock off the button. She should play a corner freeze one way or the other. Try to have a rock that she could promote to get rid of the red on a bit of an angle. And then her last shot at the end is most likely going to be the thin in-off on that yellow guard just outside of the rings. But you'll play that in the last shot.
So we see the first of 2 for Brown here.
She's going to try to run the red into the yellows. So straight peel doesn't do any good. So you run the red into the yellow, it's top 12 foot. Try to make the first of those 2 shots here. You need the rocks to splash a little bit so that you still have a shot at the second one.
Would you ever try to corner freeze the red and then maybe be able to run your side yellow in for $1 million?
Well, you wouldn't run the side yellow and you'd play in off it. Yeah, I would. That's what I was talking about. However, the issue here is Corryn Brown didn't really, like, if she overlaps the guards so that you don't have this shot, then you can get to the corner of the button. The problem right now is if you play the draw to the corner of the button, and I would play it from this side, if you make the corner freeze, you're buried on the guard that just got thrown and you can't really promote it, so you can't use it. If she had gotten the guard over another half to 3/4 of a rock, for sure you could play the draw.
So just playing the peel here.
Now, Corryn Brown should probably guard. She doesn't even see it. She should guard the rock, the yellow corner guard. There is no shot in the middle.
Or just peel it, right?
Well, you could. There's some risk with that. But there's no shot here. She needs 2 shots in the middle to get to shot stone. She's only got 1 rock left. She's going to play off that outside guard. She's not playing anything in the middle. This guard's guarding nothing. And the shot off the side could be for 3.
I agree, buddy. I ended up just sitting here. Not saying I could ever make it, but I want to throw it.
It's not a high percentage shot, but there's no shot in the middle, and that shot is for 3. I mean, that's what she's always playing. You could have kicked this rock into the boards, and that's what shot she's playing. This essentially did get kicked into the boards because she's not playing anything in the middle.
And you see her skate right up to it. So, line up. How much we got to hit here?
It is paper thin. Hard to make it for 3, but it is possible because if you come just under the yellow at the top and stuff your shooter into that red stone, it's going to clip the yellow, but the yellow's coming straight back into the red. It's probably not rolling out.
So you're going to play it as a redirect as opposed to a raise?
Yeah, the raise is so thin and you have to carry so much weight through. Whereas with the redirect, your shooter carries most of the weight through. Like if you're trying to hit this on the outside, you're hitting it very thin and still trying to propel it with enough weight to kill that red. She almost looks like she wants to play it that way. She's got you heard me just talk about how sometimes it's more a matter of where you hit it than how hard. How hard matters if she's going to try to hit this on the outside, because she's not going to hit very much of the rock, which means she's not transferring a lot of weight into the stone that she's raising. She has to whip this. Can't make this with control weight.
Say you're thinking maybe 7.5 seconds, 8?
Yeah, it's whatever she's got. Because you have to keep in mind that depending how you hit this, that red could jam on the yellow at the back. You still need enough for it to spin out. It's coming from the angle where it should spin, but it's not spinning without some speed.
Well, this goes under the comma. Great shot if you make it, but you got nothing else, so here we go.
Yeah.
Final stone of the second end. Playing the long angle raise. On the way, on it, right out of her hand. Will it get there? Run it over? No, it's just going to come a little bit underneath. It'll be a steal, 1 for Team Brown. And they have that 2-stone lead. We'll be back in a moment from Saville on Curling Stadium.
That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos? One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Back here is the third end of the Saville Grand Prix. Corryn Brown against Serena Gray Weathers, Dave Schmelt, Sean Joyce, and another steal. Well, first steal rather, after the unexpected single.
Yeah, you hate to turn that back around too. If you're the Gray Weathers team, I mean, you've got an unexpected break in the first end, which he knows hits the blank attempt. So you gave up one and got the hammer back, that cheap hammer, as we call it. And then you turn around and give up the steal. It's just like they got the deuce in the second end, which is what they were hoping for. So momentum-wise, that can be a bit of a swing.
And you didn't want to slide behind the tee line here.
No.
So
Rarely.
here's Fisher on the draw attempt to freeze on down to it.
Rarely do you want to slide behind the tee line, but when you've got last rock coming around a center guard, that's definitely a no-no. That's how they got in trouble last end.
Yeah, this one's got to be carried to get there. Just a little bit high gives Team Great Weathers a chance to maybe get away with it.
Yeah, that's a little too high. It's not a horrible shot. It's in the front of the house. You would have liked to have it, even if it's not shot rock, at least have it in the 4-foot, cut down the rings, make it more of a problem later on. Like to get an angle on that red. This is where the fact that there's so much room between the red and the yellow, if she could get to the corner, they might be able to get rid of it later, but she's coming right by it.
And come by it, not going to get all the way down to the corner. Does leave a double takeout available.
It'd be nice to throw some weight at this. You saw her pointing up. It's just you're hitting the first one very close to the nose, but you definitely want to roll to the outside. Otherwise, you're going to leave a double back.
So Sarah coming with some, I'd say, normal weight. Makes the double. Doesn't get a huge roll, so as you mentioned, that double is there in return.
Yeah, they could have been on that a little bit more. Just you could afford to hit that a little bit thinner. The first one, the double flew easy. Hit this right, because the first red one that you're going to hit, the one right behind the broom, is just a shade higher. So if you hit this right, you're going to come off the top end of the second one, and you might spin up dead in behind the guard.
Working hard to hold this one, just skinny past the guard, and they get the double. Half one, just a sliver under.
A little too thin to get the spin up, but you're right. It's got a piece under.
Not
on
bad.
this ice, you could get to that and roll under, but do you Corryn Brown again with a 2-point lead and without last rock? Do you want to flirt with hitting that guard? Just make it go away.
This one is going to be very, very tight to the guard and on it.
I'm not sure that's the weight they had in mind. I don't think she would have got that through if she hit it. And double whammy, they pushed the guard off the center line to a corner guard. Gray Weathers a chance to use it now and maybe set up a crooked number here for the third end.
So looking to draw underneath that corner. Set up their deuce. stone from Burgess will get under cover. And just a touch behind the tee line. I believe that's the shot stone right now, Sean.
I think so. No,
Really close.
I'd say the one at the top is a shot stone. Doesn't really matter, and that's the one situation where it doesn't matter that you went deep. Again, you're behind a corner guard with last rock, and if she's up any higher, it makes this kind of a more natural double. I mean, it's not that the double's not there; it's very thin. They're not even trying it, but she did want to roll towards the corner, and this is going to be a nose hit. You could ignore that.
Yeah, and just come underneath again.
Yeah. Well, and the reason I looked at that, I mean, you nose hit it, you leave a slash double. You roll to the other side, which is what she's looking at now. You could make the angle better for a crosshouse double. I mean, it still has to be made. And there's nothing wrong with this shot. If we were later, if it was one stone later, I would say she probably goes around and tries to get 3. You get the little roll to the opposite side now, and if the double's missed, then you can make any kind of a draw you want risk-free. Boy, if you could get a sliver behind that other red, that'd be great.
Little scrub. It's going to be just about edge on edge, but the double's there if you want to take it on.
Yeah. Is it there in September? You're not making that with normal weight. Like, that's...
Sean, for me, I'm not sure if it's there. I'm not sure if it's there in January. Still fun.
They rolled that almost perfect. This certainly, I think, took away any realistic chance at the double.
So they're just going to roll center and
try to group them. That's a really good shot.
Man, that was almost the right angle for the double anyway. Just a little thicker. So you're going to roll inside or outside here, Sean?
To the open side. In a perfect world, you might try to roll to the 12-foot on the open side. I don't know if this is getting there.
A lot of late finish now. Trying to work it over. And Cinnamon with the last little brushes there.
Yeah, it takes away a double opportunity for now. Corryn Brown will try to hit it on the nose, knowing that Ray Withers has to hit it again, and then she'll hope she's got a double on the next one. But if it's back-to-back nose hits, the angle will be good for a double.
So Corryn settles in for her first of the third. Up a hair from what they thought. Basically a nose hit.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Now, certainly important to get some distance in the roll here, right, Sean?
Yep. Yeah, critical to stay in the rings. It'll be interesting to see what happens if you roll all the way over to, say, the 12-foot, where she would have liked to have done that on the last one, force Corryn Brown to hit it, and then you have the option to maybe draw around and sit 3. If you roll into the 12-foot now, Corryn Brown is going to have a decision to make. Do we just hit the open stone in the back 12 and give her the draw for 2, Or because that stone on the corner is behind the tee line, you could try to draw one in front of it and take the whole end away. That would be some risk. Especially first game of a bonspiel. You didn't play last weekend. There hasn't been a ton of play to the corner, so they're not necessarily going to know the line. It'll be a bit of a guess. If this rolls out, that's what she's planned.
Looks like it got set out just a touch.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing.
Coming back nicely. They're going to get the hit, no problem. But just pretty much leave it right there, and there is certainly a double. No reason you wouldn't throw this, right?
No, I don't think so. You play the double, and they're thinking about a third of the rock, so edgy rock touching the center line, which it looks to me like that should be close. And the bonus here, I think, is if you ever hit it a little bit thick, you're probably rolling right in front of that yellow. So you know, there's a couple of good outcomes for you here. You just can't be thin on this and go underneath the second one. Hard to think she could be thin with that ice. That's on this ice with the amount of curl there's been, even with some takeouts, it's surely got to curl that much.
A little bit stiffer weight this time. We're on it right out of her hand.
Yeah, they got to go.
Heavy clean right now. It's going to be pretty close. You get the one roll on over. Do you kick it all the way out? No, you don't.
Yeah, they got caught in between. They actually, if they were going to hit it that thick, they actually needed to hit it just a shade thicker so they didn't push the yellow. Still a tough shot. She can't see all of it, and she's got to get it by her own yellow.
Yeah, certainly had to be careful here. You never want to give up an accidental steal. Just a quiet weight, you should be able to pull it off.
Well, it's definitely there. It's not an easy shot in the third end when nobody's played anything to the corner yet, but I mean, she's going to play this quiet. If you happen to hit half a rock on the broom side, even if you put it onto the yellow, your shooter's going to count one for sure. The scary thing here would be if you happen to underthrow this, and we saw it once already this end for the Brown team. This end? You try to throw too quiet coming around a guard, and it takes off, and you could rub that guard pretty easy.
So final seven of the third end with the quiet weight shot trying to make the deuce.
That is a big set, and yet it's still curling hard.
Trying to work it over past the guard. You got it. No problem. And you get that deuce, and it is all tied up here from Saville. We're back in just a moment on Curling Stadium.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Mowat, Gushue, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling. celebrity appearances, and off-break curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at theGrandSlamOfCurling.com. Let's rock!
And welcome back to the Saville Community Sports Center. It's all tied up here at 2, playing in the 4th end to play now. Gray Weathers with that pretty well executed deuce.
Yeah, it came up just enough at the end to get by the yellow. It was good weight. The weight was the key there, because if she hits it a little thin, she's not rolling out with that weight. She'd have just rolled over to the back of the 8-foot. She'd got one for sure. 3 ends decided nothing. Corryn Brown had last rock when we started. She's got last rock again.
We could have hit snooze. But we're glad that you're not snoozing with us. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe to us here on Curling Zone. And then once you're subscribed, you're able to interact with us in the chat. We love hearing from you, knowing where you're watching from. And if you're new to curling, you feel free to ask us a question. There's no silly question, just silly commentators.
It's like you had some idea where I was going with this next one. I'm still stuck on Zoe Cinnamon. She's got her hair in a ponytail, and it really should be in a bun.
Yeah, I got to know Zoe's parents pretty well when I was in Cortina, and I will say Dawn Marie was most likely the most vocal member of the Canadian contingent. With about every 45 seconds, you'd hear a "Let's go Canada!" It was a lot of folks who made the trek to Cortina. Fun meeting all of them. Of course, it served as the test event for the Olympics coming up this year. So it was all the Olympic ice makers, Olympic officials, timekeepers, the whole 9 yards to make sure it's going to be a fantastic event. And having been there, I can say that the facility will be a great host for curling.
Fourth end, you can see these teams are getting the draw weight a little bit more dialed in. The rock's in front of the tee line this end. That's not just a free guard, it's also a no-tick rock.
Yeah, we almost had our first one of them for this season. I haven't seen one yet.
I don't think I did either. Those are the types of shots that, again, we talked about them not being in mid-season form. All those finesse shots, draw weight is draw weight is draw weight. That comes back pretty quick, and you throw it a lot in practice. Same thing with takeouts, especially whatever your team considers a normal takeout, because it's pretty comfortable to throw. But all the finesse weights, trying to adjust the weight when you're only trying to add 3 or 4 feet, those are tougher, and not just on the thrower, but on the brushers, because it doesn't matter how much these athletes are all in great shape. They do a lot of off-season training that we didn't always traditionally do. But one of the things that's always been a challenge, let's say, to doing that off-season conditioning is the minute you do it on ice, it's a little different. The G-forces are different. You just feel it differently. So physically, it's difficult. The sweepers aren't mid-season form either. It's harder to carry a rock as far as you will be able to in November. It's hard to hold it as straight as you will be able to in November.
And forgive me, Sean, I forget whether it was you or Terry Corbin, but you spoke with a chiropractor who said that curling is a really stupid sport.
I've said that it wasn't the chiropractor. It's my physical, the athletic therapist that I worked with for years. And he said before that, yeah, your sport is stupid because They make us play, in some cases, 3 games in a day. Well, there is no other sport where you compete. We're basically, if you're playing 3 games, that's essentially the same as 2 marathons. Our scheduling is up in the air too. I mean, in some cases, you're playing in round robin draws, so then at least you have some idea before you go in what time you play. But when you play in these triple knockouts, sometime the time you play your second game of the day or your third game of the day might depend on what you did in your earlier games. And there's just not enough rest and recovery. Sometimes you play back-to-back. That could be as much as 6 hours on the ice, maybe longer if those are 10-hour games. Keep in mind, there's the pre-game practice as well. It's a lot. Physically, it's a lot.
Oh, it took a lot of scrubbing to try to get past that one, but it did just tick the guard. So we've gotten into a bit of an interesting situation.
Yeah, she could make the hit and roll, even if she's behind the tee line. Those 2 yellows that are overlapped at the top of the 8-foot are going to act as a second guard.
So Burgess with the stone on the way. Trying to walk it over. It's just going to be on the nose, though. Are they all queued up, Sean?
Well, you can't get to the top one with enough to do anything with it.
Yeah, it probably goes under, I think. I don't know. It's close.
It would be tempting here.
Run the high one straight back.
Yeah, well, then you're leaving one in the center. I'd be tempted to run it over the top of something. Either you get the one that's shot rock, or just get by that one and get the one that was left on the corner and get the center guard gone. That's the key here.
Well, asking for just a shade of ice. You see the folks on the delivering side want to make sure they know exactly what the objective is. So
yeah, it's not the first one. I think they want to know which one they're trying to hit second.
Yeah, and Sarah's going to go down because it's really important for the shooter to know what they actually want to accomplish. I know I played with skips who say, just hit the broom. It's a lot better if you know what you're trying to do.
I'd be tempted to run it towards the outside one, and I say that because if you ever happen to absolutely stuff it on the outside one, and they guard the middle, that outside one then would be high enough to come off of it and kill the shot stone. So if you're trying to get 2 here to do that, you're trying to drive the guard. See if Jerry's paying attention this morning. Where's my telestrator? He promised me last week it was coming. But if you could drive the top one, just like my mouse is showing that you can't actually see, across the face of the second one, you get the 2 out that way. And if you ever just stuff it, it's going to be high enough up in the rings, you could probably come off it and kill the shot stone. This is a tough
on the
angle.
way. Yeah, absolutely. On the way from Colton here. Gonna get the one, just hits the middle one and just kind of just shuffles the deck a little bit, Shawnee.
It's probably better. You guard the center stone now, and there is a double in the 4-foot.
And you're going to have to throw a guard.
Yeah, you probably have to throw a guard here if you're Grey Withers. Here's the problem that I see. So the stone, you don't want to leave the double in the middle, so you're actually going to guard what is third shot stone. And then if Brown ever makes that double in the 4-foot, you're guarding her stone.
So
behind
right
your
now,
stone in the 8-foot too.
So how much Sharpie is on your laptop monitor right now?
I'm using dry erase so I can get rid of it. We're good. I'm not sure what choice she's got here. I think you've got a guard. I maybe would be tempted. Yeah, I don't know. You bite the rings and she tries to make a triple, and that rock in the back might come back into play. She might not play the double just yet. This is still third stones. Or third's first stone. On third second, you'd play it for sure.
Well, first motion was the double.
Yeah. But you take those 2 rocks away. If that double was already made and those were gone. If you've got last rock in this end, ideally you want to come in third's last stone. So that's why you might still play the guard 1 time here. But this is not wrong. This is a good shot. You make this shot, you're buried under 2 yellows, and it's a problem for Grey Withers.
So Pincott with her first.
You don't even have to get the second one out. Just roll into the side of it and nudge it out further into the open.
So that's to come over just a touch.
That's
might
pretty
not
good.
Be that's a pretty good outcome, I was just going to say.
Yeah, the yellow's wide open and the red's a problem for Grey Withers.
There's no look at it, Sean.
Any more curls, she probably makes the double. But again, the yellow wide open, the red buried. So Serena's looking at coming down and just trying to... I thought she was playing... She's indicating like she's going to play with draw weight. That's better. So just playing a little split on the yellow so that she hopefully has an angle from either side to drive something onto the red. This will also protect that yellow in the forefoot a little bit as well.
So where can't you put this?
If you're heavy enough that you go right by the yellow and just sliver the red further in behind and roll off, that would be bad. Because also what you're going to do if you do that is probably leave room for brown to hit and roll another one underneath. And now you're looking at possibly giving up 3.
So they're going to get that little bit of shimmy that they were looking for.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And if you're new to Curling Stadium, first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining us. But pretty good is about the most affirmative compliment you ever get out of Sean.
Well, you're without last rock and you're leaving red ones in play. There's always danger to be had. She can maybe move all 3 yellows. I don't think she can throw it with the weight to kill them. But she could probably kill 2 of them. And then, if she could kill 2 and move all 3 of them, there's extra danger now for Grey Withers because there is that red stone at the back of the 12-foot that could still end up on the scoreboard. Those are the kind of rocks that turn a deuce into 3. And that's a hard one to swallow. She looks like she's throwing this with some weight. Maybe trying to make the straight back double and just come across enough to nudge that yellow off the corner of the red.
So the second stone from Pincott. Looks to be a little tight to the guard. Oh my goodness, they wreck.
It's not the end of the world. Grey Withers still has to figure out what she's going to do with that redstone.
I mean, call me simple, you probably will, but just pop it out with a little bit of angle and lie 4.
How are you popping it?
Hit the one that's it's currently 4th shot.
You're going to hit that awful thin. I don't think you're keeping your shooter. That might be what they have to play, but then it's going to spin. I don't think she will, but it would be tempting to guard that stone.
And we'll have a mound visit.
You guard that, Brown has to play the tap through the middle. The red probably stays open. Like, you're not, as much as it looks really good for yellow right now, this doesn't look like a steal to me. This looks like a force.
No, I tend to agree with you. It doesn't look very steelish.
Well, Brown has two ways to get rid of that yellow shot stone. And she was playing the double that one, but if it was your last rock and you knew you were only shooting for one, you could just nose hit that yellow, jam it on the one on the 4-foot, you're counting one. She is going to play the slash. It's really thin.
And just like her playing blackjack, cut them thin to win.
Hard to imagine you're hitting this thin enough, though, to just stick it right there. And if you're off the back end of that red at all, it's going to come and touch the one in the 4-foot, and then it becomes a question of where do all three yellows end up. The one at the top shouldn't move, or biting the top of the 4-foot, but the other two, what kind of angles are going to be left after this?
This one coming down the ice smartly. Not a brush to it now. Hold it just a touch. Get it, slash it over. You're going to spread them out in line 3. So, do you have a good way to make a skip's deuce here?
Or
try to get the back one back in play.
There's a couple of options. This, to me, looks like the most obvious when you play the hit and... You're not even playing the double here. This is a hit and roll. You hit and roll to the corner of that Yellowstone in the 8-foot, sit second shot. And it's really tough for her to get it out by the yellow at the back of the 4-foot. And then to try to... You're not likely going to guard a rock in the back of the 4-foot. It's too easy to come around it and move it back. Where do you put another rock in the rings that's second shot and doesn't leave a double?
Make the double your line 1-3 because you have that one in the back.
You are, but she could make a double back, or even if she just hits it and stays right there, you've got a tough time making the double and stay with your last one.
Gonna get the one, and they will make that double takeout. They lie first and third. Sorry, second and third rather.
I don't think she needed to kill the second stone. She's probably better off not killing the second stone.
So this is not as slam dunkish as it looks because you need to lie too.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, line 2 is more important than making the double here. Mind you, there's a way you could do both.
Well, that would be Yahtzee.
Well, there's also a way you could make I think if you made the double over the top, you're probably thin enough on the first one that you might lose the shooter, and then we're back to a blank.
Lots of different ways this can unfold. So here is Gray Withers.
Not like that way.
Yep. Just going to be a hit and flop on this really hard. Might be in danger jamming on the shot rock. Now they get it. They get the little rollover, jam in the back. I think he left a double back for deuce.
Yeah. They actually overswept that at the end. They were trying to get it over the top, make the double and get the big roll, but once you weren't getting the big roll, you were better off to hit that a little bit thicker and get the double at the back.
So just kind of caught in between there.
Yeah, again, yeah.
So Corryn Brown with some opportunity for some unexpected bacon here in the morning. It's the best kind.
This isn't a gimme either. She's got to get right to the nose. If she's a hair on the broom side, she might drive it by the one at the back of the 4-foot, and then it's a steal. and you cross it just a hair, you could jam it, and it's a steal.
Brown, final stone of the fourth end. Trying to make the double for a deuce. Facing two. On it hard the whole way. Going to get the one. Make the deuce. And there you go. Put that one on the board. And they have a 4-2 lead after 4. We'll be back on Curling Stadium right after this.
For over 20 years, the Sandra Schmirler Foundation has granted more than $9 million to hospitals across Canada for life-saving equipment for premature and critically ill babies. In the past 4 years alone, $4 million has been granted thanks to the curling community's incredible generosity. The need continues year-round, and with your help, we can ensure every baby has the chance to grow up and become a champion, just like Sandra.
Welcome to the rockshop.net, the official
Coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.
So it's fourth end break here time from the Saville Grand Prix. Grand Brown with a 2-stone lead. Back with the second half after this.
November.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
The rock faces around Lake Tahoe are legendary. But this fall, new ones will emerge in the Tahoe Basin. Pullman, Mowat, Gushu, and more. November 4th through 9th, the Grand Slam of Curling's first ever event in the U.S. is coming to Lake Tahoe, where the greatest rock stars on earth unite for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and off-break curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at theGrandSlamOfCurling.com. Let's rock!
Back here the second half. It's the Saville Grand Prix from the Saville Community Sports Center here on Curling Stadium of the Stadium Sports Network. Dave Schmel along with Sean Joyce, Connor Sims on our production today. So happy to have each and every one of you with us, and we'll be with you all season long. And we have all the games going right now. You can check out multiple streams on our channel. But Sean, why don't you give us an update on the other games that we have going on right now?
Well, I'm having a hard enough time just keeping track of one, but so it is pool play here, and there are 8 sheets going this morning. Yinji Gim, Amanda Sluchinski on sheet 1. It is Gim with a 5-0 lead. She cracked a big 4 in the third end. Nancy Martin and Nikki Kaufman are right next door. Martin with a 3-2 lead. She's got hammered as they were finishing up the fourth there. Sheet 4. Caitlin Laws with a 7-2 lead over Emma DeSchiffart. Sorry, but it's another season of mispronouncing names until I learn how they're pronounced. Kayla Skrillick, who had a good event last weekend, 2-1 lead right now over Holly Haffley. Mila Plett up 3-1 over Yuna Miura from Japan on sheet 6. Heather Steele trailing Kate Cameron. That's 5-1 after 3 ends of play. They're in the 4th there. And Gracelyn Richards, no score yet against Selena Sturmey, another team that was playing here last weekend, had a good weekend. They've got a 2-point lead, similar to what we had. They had a force in the 2nd and a steal in the 3rd. They're playing in the 4th there.
And as you mentioned, Kim from Korea, she was the runner-up last week. Played that final against Anderson, and you are able to watch that in our replay archives right here on Curling Zone. So we have Gray Withers with the hammer now, down by 2, and it looks like they're going to get out to dance this end.
Just actually noticing now that this is interesting, to me anyway. 20 teams last weekend. They played 4 pools of 5 teams, so they had 4 games in the round robin. So here, again, 20 teams, not the same 20, some of them are, but we're playing 5 pools of 4 teams each.
A couple less draws. I guess I went to save on the hydro. This one's coming around the guard nicely.
Just checking the schedule myself because that affects the draw. So what they're doing is instead of playing the teams in your own pool, you'll play one of the other pools so that you still play 4 games, but you're not playing anybody in your own pool. There was only 3 other teams in your own pool. That's an interesting way to do it. And of course, regardless, they're looking for one of 8 berths into the playoffs that I believe actually begins Saturday night here.
So electing to draw down to the rock that was just thrown. Oh, and that's close. If I had a nickel, I'd say it's red, but I think it's yellow.
Yeah, to me it looks yellow too, but I mean it for Serena it's almost, does she think it's yellow or does she hope it's yellow? Because if it's yellow, she's kind of already got one established in the corner. She's still going to need to deal with this situation in the middle, but it might change her call here.
And despite Connor's best efforts there, I still can't tell. But yeah, playing in the middle is probably the right move right now.
Certainly, like I thought she'd make a play on the guard right away, and it does change it. Like she's going to come at it from this side for sure. You don't want to risk jamming it on that situation in the corner if you think you're already in good shape over there.
This will be more or less just a straight peel.
Yeah, they're shooting for some curls, so they're actually trying to either roll over and leave it another corner guard, or perhaps clip the one in the rings as well.
And we're in the shampoo business right now, lather and repeat.
Yeah, I think they briefly discussed whether or not to peel the corner guard, and you can make a case for that. Like, you're 2 points up right now.
certainly a good case for that if you do believe that yellow is shot right now.
Well, I'm not sure that it makes a difference.
Sorry,
who's
second
right
shot,
now.
rather.
Yeah. Like you're either peeling the corner and you're trying to hold the end for a blank, or you're putting the center guard up and, for now at least, trying to force the Grey Withers team to have to deal with it. They've got some work to do.
So Sarah Colton's going to come on down and discuss this with Corryn.
She's greedy. She'd like to get everything. Get rid of the corner guard and roll to the center. It's good if you make it.
Well, every shot you call is great if you make it generally.
But the danger to a shot like this where you try to roll to the perfect center guard, you don't. She's hitting shot rock, rolling under, and now you're in danger of giving up 3.
So here's Colton. Not very interested in it yet. Oh, it's going to just slide past and actually gets her own.
Well, that does make things interesting.
You see, it just never took the break.
And it'll be harder with the Brown team throws a little more rotation, which, will serve them well on ice like this in a lot of cases. But when you're throwing a hit like that, if you're just a little back, as soon as you pick the weight up and throw extra rotation, they're just not going to get much curl on them.
That was actually a tough way to miss it.
Yes.
So opportunity here for Grey Withers now. The 3 very much in play. But it has to get there first. He will not even get a nibble, but it's double guarded now. Gonna draw down to it.
You could still guard yours in the middle.
I guess this is just a touch safer.
Well, is it? You could make this shot, and she could play the double off the one in the middle, and you're still in trouble.
This is not heavy.
Got to stay on the inside corner.
Great job by the Brushers to be second stone.
That's actually probably good where it is, because if she does make the double now, the shooter's going to be out in the open. That's tough. It's probably just there. It's really tough. She's talking about playing kind of like a draw weight split on the red. You got to get it over the top of the yellow, though.
That looks scary.
Well, you're not playing enough weight to kill anything, but you are very thin on the first one. You're trying to roll to the back of the house here. You don't want to leave a double off the shooter onto that one that's buried.
I guess the good news is that since they didn't elect to throw the center guard, you feel like you're always going to be able to get your one if you have to.
Yeah.
Only call for backline weight.
Yeah, I called the sweep on earlier than they did.
Cinnamon trying to hold it. does jam onto their own. They lie shot at the moment. Second and third belong to Team Brown.
Yeah, you have to roll on this. I think if your nose hit it, it might leave a triple. A triple that wouldn't jam.
So, did they leave it there? I don't think so.
Well, no, not really. But you could make the double. It's at second and third buried, and then that stone at the top of the 8-foot starts to look pretty lonely. I think you're trying to come off the shot stone, the one right behind the broom. You could actually make it off either one of those reds. It's just if you come off the higher one, it's harder to get the second red by the yellow. You want to come more into the side of it. This is another one where even if you don't make the double, if you just roll into the side of that red stone, there's still a double off the other red. You don't want to ever hit this too thin. I don't think that's going to be a problem. It's close.
Make contact with them both, and that's a pretty good roll.
Yeah. She did touch the red into the yellow, so she's only got second shot, but second shot well buried. It's only about a quarter of it sticking out.
So now discussion time now for Team Brown.
Well, it's scary to try to corner freeze that stone. It's high enough up in front of the tee line that in order to be second shot, you'd have to be close enough to the center line, so off center on that yellow stone, that she can probably see all of it. And if she can see all of it, she can drive red onto yellow, which is going to go onto the red at the tee line, and she could be sitting second, third, and fourth, and now you're in a real dilemma with only one stone left to come. You could draw, throw the guard. They're looking at a tap back tough shot. Could do that too. The back 8-foot looks ridiculously tough, and she's still coming off the one at the center line.
So for what started as a fairly innocuous setup, it's evolved into a lot more right now.
Yeah, I'm not even 100% sure what she's playing here. They tap the back of the 8-foot, but I don't know whether they mean that's the weight she's trying to play and she's still trying to get to the yellow. That looks like a lot of ice to get to the yellow with weight to move it.
I think they're trying to lie second underneath.
Well, that's what I thought too, but it's tough to get there.
So Brown with her first. Both brushers are very actively engaged, trying to drag it there. Still on the yellow a piece. Okay. They lie too. At the moment.
Yeah, the reds that she just threw is wide open. You could nose hit it, sit second, third, and fourth. I'm not entirely sure that you can do the same thing coming off the middle one. Hit the one in the middle, come across into the side of that red. If it touches the top end of that yellow on the way by, it'll drag into the red. You could sit 3 that way, except you might leave a triple back because your shooter's going to be out in the open.
Yeah, that's the shot I initially looked at, but talked myself out of it for the same reason.
You could make this and leave a triple too. It's the yellows are going to be grouped. If you're killing that third stone in the line, that red stone, then the yellows are going to be grouped either way. She might think she can hit this broom side. She might be able to. If she can hit this a bit broom side, she might be able to roll away from those 2 on the side and force Corryn Brown to just go after this stone that she's about to deliver.
So on the way from Gray Withers, trying to walk it over just a touch. Gonna get it, jam it. They're gonna clear the brownstone. Yes, that red brownstone does leave out the back. I'm working that carve hard to try to get that last bit of curl.
Yeah, they were actually trying to get a sliver of that underneath, maybe hoping to not leave any kind of triple that way. It's already, it's in a pretty good spot. I mean, you could maybe move all 3, hard to get them out. You're probably going to jam the top one on the third one. There's also some danger, depending on it, like the double's not a gimme here. She can only just see all of that yellow. So to make it, she's probably got to go over the top, and that's what you can see them kind of gesturing. They know their shooter's going to roll towards their own, making the double in the middle a little easier.
Yeah, you can't ever reckon the long guard because then you're looking at a million.
Yeah, well, and if you ever nose hit this, she's got you're just going to stuff the one straight back, and she'll have a nose hit in the middle for 2.
So vital shot coming up here for Corryn Brown in the 5th end.
If you ever a little thin on the first one and miss the second one, if it jams on the inside of that third one, it's got a long ways to roll to get out.
Looks like she might have rolled that release just a touch, but off and on. It's close to what they wanted. They're going to make contact. Get one. They're going to lie 2 dead in the middle. Be a double back, maybe for 3, though. Didn't clear out the back.
No, it's very thin on the second one, and of course it did stuff on the third one. So
these are never as easy as they look.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to make contact with both of them, but they're not quite dead even. So if you whip it, she wants to throw some weight here because she's throwing a double. But it's really easy to spin out the top of the house here.
So Serena Gray Withers facing 2, trying to make the double for 3. Final stone of the 5th. Not laying a broom. This one looks pretty close. Gonna get one, and will it get it to go far enough? Scrubbing all the way. Okay, it's 2 for sure. Is it 3?
The line at the bottom of our screen makes it tough to tell.
Yeah,
I
well,
was
we got
surprised
better,
to see.
Yeah, better shot at it now.
Wouldn't be surprised to see the measuring stick come out.
Yeah, this generally you look, especially players at this level. If players at this level look 3 times, they don't know. So here we go, folks. First one of the season. Throw in the chat. Is it red? Is it yellow? Get your guesses in.
Is it brown? Is it gray?
Oh, don't even do that to me.
You started it.
I know. Get your votes in now. Polling stations are open. Apparently until about 7 o'clock Mountain Time.
Well, from this view, it looks yellow, but this is a terrible view to try to determine who's got shot rock.
So we here have the measuring device coming in, and see if we can get our eyes in the dial there. Got to make sure you touch it.
Well, she's pretty sure she touched it, and the dial didn't move. Would not be the first time that I've seen a broken micrometer.
I've had to fix one in my club before.
Okay, she definitely touched it with the second one because it's loose and it moved. The micrometer's not working.
So we had to get the stick from the other end of the sheet. Well, there's another first.
No, I'm afraid it's not. I've seen that before.
So anyone who is on whatever site that's purely for entertainment that you may wish, probably just got plus 25,000 on that wager. They're just trying to see if they can just figure it out now, but no. You didn't know before, you still don't know. So we skate it down the other side now. All right, take 2. Oh, it's moving now. Okay, here we go. All right, about that much. It looked very red, I think.
Yeah, she had a big piece of the Yellowstone, but that almost didn't. You got to be careful pushing that through. You already got one broken micrometer. You don't want to break the other one.
All right, so we'll be back after this. There we go. There's a Volvo. 5 Volvos. They're boxy, but they're good.
That's life. That's what all the people
A Divine Yinzer in our chat.
Mm-hmm.
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away regular?
No, but he is
I'll have
the current
root
president
berry,
of that
but
club.
Can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the
His usual
power
shtick is
booster
calling
and
me
the collagen
America's most
booster.
trusted
And can
place
I
in
get that
curling.
blended twice?
Wow.
Or Alicia, Custom Chaos? One of a kind.
Which is a
You're
pretty
one
low
of a
bar,
kind.
but
Blister
I'll take it.
juice, freshly made your way.
Towards the score, we're playing end number 6. Brown has the hammer, throwing the red stones in the 6th. Dave Schmel, Sean Joyce, and Connor Sims in the production. Happy to have you here with us from the Saville Community Sports Center in Edmonton. And if you haven't subscribed to Curling Stadium, please do. Doesn't cost you anything. Hit that little bell. You get notifications every time we go live. You can follow all your favorite teams all year long. And even if you might be watching another event, which of course you would never do, but you can catch up with us during the course of the week. We archive it all for you. Absolutely free. So just subscribe. It really helps us out.
You have to think, as we're getting into the 6th end here, this is where, even traditionally, teams would take a look at the odd versus even ends. Corryn Brown probably pretty comfortable where she's at right now. She's got 2 hammers left to 1. She's going to try to score here, and you see this with a lot of teams. She doesn't even mind necessarily if she gets forced. She's not looking to blank this in. She's looking for some opportunities to play offense. She will still deal with the middle at some point in time, but for now, the easiest way to deal with the middle is to just get there first. The 5 rock free guard zone kind of dictates how you approach these ends. She can't let too many rocks pile up in the middle, but she is going to try to set up a scoring opportunity if she can here. And Grey Withers has to be careful because of that. You know, it's one thing to try to force a team, but when they're already trying to score, you got to be real careful. You don't want to force them to 3. It's probably bad.
You mentioned that strategy so many times.
This is probably the best setup we've had to the end for both teams. Both leads have executed here really well. Grey Withers' first thought was to just come right around everything for shot rock. I think you have to be careful with that. Not sure I'd be playing this either, though. She's looking to play yellow onto the ones in the house, just kill the back red, but your opposition wants to get rid of the center guard. You're doing it for her. It's critical you hit this right on the nose. You don't want to roll off at all. That was a questionable call at best and just not very well executed. So it gives Corryn Brown the chance now to just go to the corner. She doesn't have to deal with anything in the middle right now. She can worry about that. Or let Serena Grey Withers do it first and just try to get a risk-free deuce here. Actually, early enough in the end, she could even have called this for a corner guard for now, but they're electing to come right in.
It does come on past those Explore Edmonton logos and right up to about the tee line.
Well, if you're Grey Withers, you're kind of committed now after you peeled the last one. You're trying to get back to a blank somehow. She knows she can, you probably have to hit it off nose. You can kill those 2 reds in the middle at any time. You do it too early, all it takes is one good hit and roll to the outside for Corryn Brown. She's got her deuce set up, so she's going to play the one on the wing first. Expect Corryn Brown will play that out there as well. And if you're Grey Withers, you're just hoping for her to roll out once. If she rolls out once, that gives you a chance to play the double in the middle. She's still thinking about it, though. I mean, there is a triple here if you hit it right.
And Wesley, I couldn't agree with you more. It's been a nail-biter, back and forth action between these teams, and both teams seem to hit their stride just a touch and having deuces each of the last three ends. And said we had a great flow to the game until now.
Well, and this game actually, this end has been the best played end, other than that last call for the
for sure,
game, which was questionable. But if she just makes the double in the middle and doesn't get the one on the side, the rocks are going to be well spread out for Corryn Brown. She just has to try to hold the deuce, and still, it's a long time. We're still on second stones here.
Trucking down, they're going to get some movement here. Scatter them. Will the red get out the side door? Yes, it will. So shot stone to Grey Withers. Bouncing second, Grey Withers third. Looking just to play the double back, Sean?
Yeah, she doesn't have to. She could just make a play directly on shot stone. She wouldn't leave a double with that, but these two are pretty close together.
Gonna make the double. Very tough one back.
Yeah, well, and that's just it. Do you try it, or do you try to get them grouped? And it's tough because one's a lot higher than the other one in the house, so it's tough to get these grouped. But if she could roll over to, say, line to the edge of the 4-foot on the other side, it becomes tough for Corryn Brown to roll back to the middle. This is one where you don't want to over-roll this. You'll give her more room. Roll about halfway this time, and hard for her to roll back to the middle.
Well, no roll there.
It kind of worked out, though, because for Corryn Brown to get into the rings, she's got to roll, and it's tough to roll. I mean, you could roll into the rings to the outside, but it's tough. It's easier to roll into the rings rolling towards the center line, which you roll too far, you leave the double.
So Pincott with a delicate little shot here. Pick this up right away. Got it now. We're going to roll too much, and there's that double you were talking about, Shawnee.
It's actually not a bad leave, though, because she's got to hit that one on the outside. Like, if you're going to roll over that way, she's made the double as tough as she could. You're throwing out an awfully wide broom.
Into the undiscovered country.
Undiscovered country, and so the viewers who happen to have to listen to me last week heard me say this more than once, and you will all season long. There are stats that show the minute you put the broom outside the edge of the 8-foot, the percentages go down noticeably.
So here we go. We see the double executed, and they do hang on. Nice shot there.
Everything she could out of that one. Got the double and forces them to have to make a play on it. That's a great shot. Those aren't easy.
So getting back to the point you just made, what do you attribute that to?
Oh, I think it just has something to do with the design of the hacks, the modern hacks, the Marco hacks. And it's not a knock against the hacks. They're designed to go straight down. So as you have to go to the corner, it's a little bit harder to get turned to go out to the wide broom. Those of us of a certain vintage
way back in 1917 when you were curling on a pond.
Well, they dug the hacks into the ice. Well, they didn't. They froze them around the hacks. But so if you had to go out wide, you'd put your foot in the corner of the hack, and really your foot was only half in the hack and half it was pushing off the side of the ice. So you had something to push off of to get to the wide brooms. As you get wide on modern hacks, and they are a little bit curved, but it's hard to get to the really wide broom. They're more like a starter's block. They're kind of designed to shoot you out straight ahead, but as you get that wide, it does get a little bit tough.
Absolutely.
And the stats are there to back that up. They've noted that for a few years now, that it drops by, I think I've seen numbers that still as much as 20%, and that's even the top players.
Well, that's true. I mean, the modern hacks give so much convenience, especially from a ice technician standpoint, because you can just pick them up. You don't have to worry about scraping into them.
It's not strictly a hack thing. It's also, as you mentioned, it's the great unknown. There aren't that many takeouts typically thrown out that wide. There's a few more draws these days because we see some ice with 5+ feet of curl, but you just don't slide out that wide a lot, and so the ice can be a little different out there as well.
So it looks like we're going to go up and down here for the next couple shots. Any notable updates in the scores? Wow, we have a minute and a half.
It's going to force me to, well, we got one final. Yunji Gim, 7-0. She stole another 2 over Amanda Slaczynski. Caitlin Law is a 10-2 final over Emma Deschifard. She probably doesn't care if I pronounce her name right after coming up on the short end. Kate Cameron, 9-1 winner over Heather Steele. So we've got a few lopsided ones here in the opening draw. And that can certainly happen. A game can get away from you early. Everybody will be back on the ice later today. I believe the quarterfinals are tomorrow evening, so I haven't looked at the full draw yet, but I would expect everybody's playing twice today, twice tomorrow, and then that quarterfinal draw tomorrow will be everybody's third game of the day.
And we see on our adjacent sheet that Martin has a 2-stone lead. Over Kaufman. Two more hits for the blank here, and it's been a really entertaining game to watch thus far. Brings up there, no problem. So now it'll be up to Corryn Brown to execute the blank here.
In a very similar spot to where she had a very similar shot in the first end. Those hit it in the first end, so now we already get to see whether or not there's an announcer's jinx.
Well, this situation, is taking one really the worst thing?
It's not. Psychologically, I mean, it's a shot you want to make. You want to make everything. The rollout, I mean, getting the blank here is, I'm of the opinion in a sixth end that she probably should have been playing for the blank. I mean, she got stuck in that position midway through the end, but tied up without is not a bad position for Gray Withers playing 7. If she can force a single point onto the board either way in 7, it's momentum for her playing 8.
Well, we'll see where momentum takes us after this on Curling Stadium.
That's life. That's what all the people
Hey guys, what can I get started for you today?
Bananas away, regular?
And I'll have the rip berry, but can I get vanilla oat milk and I'll add spinach and ginger? And can I substitute the raspberries for strawberries? Also add the chia and hemp seed, and definitely have the power booster and the collagen booster. And can I get that blended twice?
Wow.
For Alicia, custom chaos?
One of a kind.
You're one of a kind.
Blister juice, freshly made your way.
Back here, the seventh end, it's all tied up at 4 between Brown and Grey Withers here at the Saville Grand Prix from the Saville Community Sports Center. It's Brown with the hammer and end number 7 after getting a blank in the 6. Dave Schmel along with Sean Joyce, Connor Sims on our production with the 1s and 2s, and all of you with us, thank you for joining us. So how do you paint the strategy coming home now?
Well, we're not coming home just yet.
We're adjacent. We got the blinker on.
Oh, we could be 3 ends from that yet. You just don't know. Essentially. If you're Grey Withers, you definitely want to see a point go on the board one way or the other here. A blank end is no good for you. I thought she might actually throw the double centers here just to make sure. If you're Brown, you'd love to blank this end. But, and I'm going to sound like a broken record because everybody's heard me say this type of stuff before, when you know your opposition is trying to force something in the odd end, you have to leave yourself open to, hey, they might force me to score 3. So there could be a point coming this end where they have to decide, look, it's easier for us to try to score extra points right now than it is to blank, and you know that Grey Withers is not going to try to get this end back to a blank. She gets this to a blank, she's losing this game a very high percentage of the time. So she wants to see a point go on the board. She doesn't even care which way. She steals one, she's got the momentum playing the last end. If she forces one, she's got the hammer. There's something to be said for that, the momentum, to have the hammer coming home, even though you're trailing.
So that one there in the back 4, do you come down to it or in front of it?
You're not coming down to it anyway. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like coming to a rock in the back of the 4-foot behind the center line. That's...
You do realize, buddy, I just say things to get you started sometimes.
I don't love this call. I mean, group the rocks, you're still sitting okay to try to get back to a blank, but you're 1 freeze away from, you got a lot of work to do to not give up a steal.
This has plenty of line. Walk it over. Well, not going to get exactly what they called for, but pretty close. Much to Sean's dismay.
Yeah, I mean, it dictates that Grey Withers is going to try to follow it down, sit in front of it. Now, because it bounced that little bit, she'd love to get just a sliver to the inside of the red. Which, you know, I think you can on this ice.
Right, and if you do that, you're setting up down the line to be able to possibly remove both reds with 1.
Yeah, and Grey Withers might not be the team playing the hit, but I mean, if the only rocks that go are going to be red, that doesn't help brown either.
This looks a bit spicy. Cinnamon trying to walk it over.
This might be where you have to make that decision I was talking about already. Are you trying to get back to the blank, or are you going to let them force you to score 3? I can't see any good reason to hit the back one. I think you're either peeling the guard or you're drawing.
So if you're not drawing the back one, where do you want to draw it?
You could, for now, you could corner freeze your one at the top of the 4 foot, because that would take away the path to the back one.
This is worth a conversation.
Yeah, it is. I need the overhead again. Where's my overhead? There we go.
Connor.
Ask and ye shall receive. Yeah, if you're right down to the back one, she's going to play the freeze again. Now it's you're getting into all or nothing territory, but I mean, if I could walk it down, you'd get just by your own at the front, just by the sliver of the button. Yes, it would leave a double, but leaving a double that kills one of those rocks at the back is not the end of the world for you right now. There's a pretty big pocket back there as it sits, so if you could make her play a double back there, you're still sitting good to get at least 2.
Looks like they're coming with some weight here.
Yeah, they're maybe thinking they can get all 3 of these and spin away. So get the red. Instead of dead stuff it, they're actually trying to spin it out off that yellow, or at least back. Which, that's not a bad result. You don't want to leave it right there.
So on the way from Colton. Gonna get him moving. Get rid of both the yellows. There's still 3 reds there.
Yeah, that's pretty
1, 2,
good, though.
3. Yeah.
Got it out of that 4 foot area.
So just as you mentioned earlier, it looks like they're playing the whole force to score 3. If they can.
Well, at this point, it's pretty risk-free to try it, because Grey Withers can't let these rocks pile up, so she's got to hit the stone on the edge of the 8 foot. She's going to try to roll back to the back of the 4 foot.
Going to roll to it and past it. Pretty good location, really.
Yeah, it's not shot rock, but it's a stone that's hard to remove, so that kind of eliminates the one at the back of the 8 foot for now. Does give Brown the choice, and she's going to opt to go back to defense. You peel the guard here. Grey Withers still has to do something with rocks in the rings, and you should have a chance to get back to a blank.
Definitely watching the end unfold multiple different ways. Gonna skitter on by everything there.
Yeah, she didn't want to leave that in play, I don't think. Well, you're wondering. I was going to say, if anybody at home is wondering why she's playing the guard here, she could play a hit on the reds, but if you hit now, you're It's a blank. And a blank is bad for her.
So you throw the center guard to try to make sure the force happens all day somehow.
Yeah.
Or if not a force, a score.
Yeah, I mean, you'd love to see a force, but honestly, you're probably statistically better off giving up 2 here than you are to allow a blank.
I think it came up enough to get the job done. It's going to be peeled off.
Yep. It was going to be peeled off, probably regardless. You throw up a couple of guards before Corryn Brown will give any thought to making an offensive move. There will be a point, though, where you throw one too many. I don't know that there's much she can do about it, though. Like, she doesn't want to give up the opportunity for the blank.
You can tell she's clearly not in love with doing this.
Yeah, well, I think when you come into the rings, you could hit the one in the back 8 foot. But again, you do that this early, and she's got a chance to set up 2 or 3 yet. Where are we? Third's last.
So if you're not going to throw a guard, what are you going to do? Draw down to the back yellow and shrink the rings?
No, it's too easy to leave a double on the yellows like that, which would set up 3. What she's looking at is making a play on the top red and try to roll to the corner, and that's going to be a quiet weight hit because you got to hold your shooter. I do think you could hit the one in the back 8 foot. Brown's still going to have to do something with the stone at the back of the 4 foot that she can't really see, and she might leave them grouped. If you leave a biter at the back of the 12, that might be how you get your force. I still think you got to throw one more guard here.
It does look like that's what the survey says right now.
Yeah. If you're content to force Brown to blink first, you might throw 2 more guards yet. But usually when you're having that conversation, Brown's going to be thinking, well, if we peel the guard, she's not throwing another one. So that might influence her next call.
So the guard is on the way from Clifford. You see the motion there, looking to be just biting the top 12. Now it looks to be a little bit lighter. Certainly the pro side leave, I would say.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't think they necessarily wanted to be biting. I think she was just showing them the line that she wanted.
You know, you don't always have to make me sound silly, Sean.
It wasn't so much. She was showing them with the broom, but she was just showing them the line, I think, more than how deep she wanted it. The line was the most important thing. Like,
fair enough. I know you've had months not being able to pick on me, so.
Well, now is where the interesting decision comes. Hate that call.
So if you hate it, you must love something. What do you love?
Well, I just hate that one because it's the hardest shot you got left with the worst potential outcome.
Well, timeout's been called. They hate everything right now.
The more natural way to play the hit and roll off the red, if that red wasn't in the back of the 8, is to play it from, as we look at them in the house, you'd play it from the left side, roll towards the open side. Problem is you could jam it on the back red one, that it doesn't help you. They looked on the last shot at possibly playing the red over the top and rolling to that corner, what they're talking about now. That's tough. If you roll too far, she doesn't even have to pay any attention to it. You guard one more time, and the scary thing is that Corryn Brown then may decide to come in and try to score 3.
What do you think about the corner freeze they just put the broom down for?
It's a good shot if you make it. It's tough. I like the corner freeze on the red better than I like trying to come down to your own, because you could come down to your own, you could make it almost perfect, and she runs the red onto the 2 yellows, and because of the drag, it probably misses the red. I mean, you could corner freeze your own perfect and give up 3. That's why I don't like that call.
See the coach having the conversation.
Scott Pfeiffer, longtime lead for the Furby team.
That's how I thought it was, but
Yep.
he's got his haircut a little shorter this year.
There are a couple of options there. They're all tricky. It might come down to what you feel like you can make. I don't mind the freeze on the red. She's going to try to pass it through. Got to hold your shooter on this. Got to hold your shooter in the 8-foot on this. Or miss the one at the back 8-foot, I guess. If you miss the one at the back 8-foot altogether and hold your shooter somewhere, when they hit the yellow, they're going to have to leave a double.
Certainly going to be tricky here.
Yeah.
With her first.
Like, it's real easy to just jam this off the other red stone and roll it over so that it splits them up. And then you may not have a double left on the back one.
Cinnamon and Burgess both working this one. They're going to get the hit. It will just sneak past the back, and they lie 1 and 2.
That's really good. Not even critical that they held second shot, but they did. Brown probably has to play this stone even if it had rolled farther, because if she plays the back one, she's going to leave a double. That wasn't easy to do. If you touch that second red stone, you know, it totally changes all the angles in the house. There might have been some way to hit that back 4-foot stone and not leave a double, and then they're going to go after shot rock.
And it always had to be that quiet wait.
Yeah, to hold your shooter. Yeah, it did.
They are working this one hard.
Yeah, she'd like to roll back in front of those two. Not going to.
Not going to do it.
That's an interesting leave, though. You nose hit that, you're not second shot.
There's not really a good place to draw to.
No, you're not likely going to draw and risk leaving a double for 3. So you play the hit and roll. You have to roll towards the center line. You don't have to roll very far, but that's the danger. You're trying to roll towards center. If you ever over roll it, you leave her a double for 2.
Well, they do have the benefit that they just watched this line and got to see how much it moved. So they may be able to take a better broom than their opponents.
And ideally, you'd like to roll right back to where the broom is. If you roll to where the broom is now, the angle for the double still jams on the red, so she'll have to make a shot for 1. And then it'll be interesting to see. There are teams out there, and I don't know for sure if Corryn Brown's one of them, but if you're facing 2 with your last rock right here, there are teams out there that would hit and roll out, give up 1, and keep last rock.
Maybe just a touch too far?
I think you're okay there because you're still on the side where for her to play the double, she's pretty much got to take it off. Well, You could try to stuff it thick and maybe get the back yellow behind the red, and the top one, it doesn't have to leave the house. It only has to leave the 8-foot. And if it's slightly over curls and you dead stuff it, or slightly under curls, pardon me, and you dead stuff it, give up 1 is not the end of the world. Probably the shot to score 2 is you want to hit 3/4 or the thick side of 3/4, have it jam back onto the yellow, hit about 3/4 of that one so that the one at the back of the 4-foot misses the red one, and then the top one, it only has to spin far enough for that red one in the 8-foot to beat it. It doesn't have to leave the rings.
Corryn Brown, final stone of the 7th, facing 2. Tough shot here. I think it's just a little bit up weight. Gonna make contact with the 1, push it past, and you're just gonna get a single. And they score 1. Gray Withers will have the hammer coming home when we come back on Curling Stadium.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport.
Night for 6 days of incredible curling, celebrity appearances, and après curl parties you won't want to miss. Get your tickets at theGrandSlamOfCurling.com. Let's rock!
Welcome back to the Saville Community Sports Center. We've had one heck of a game between Brown and Gray Withers here, Sean.
Yeah, if you've chosen to join us this morning, you picked the right game. We're the only one that's just separated by a point coming home. And coming home doesn't necessarily mean it's the last end this time. Extra end, certainly not out of the question.
I'm sure Team Gray Withers would like to end it here with a deuce. So buckle in, and in about 15 stones, we'll know.
It's always interesting to see how the team really without Last Rock wants to play these ends, because there are some out there that would believe that the easiest way to defend against a deuce is to throw 2 centers. Well, we weren't back quick enough to see the call, but that first guard is about a halfway guard. It's really tough to throw the second center after you've got a halfway guard. So that really helps them out that one comes up short. They've got a double guard now. They can come around, try to set something up in the middle. You almost have to play this, and lots of teams believe this, and I'm kind of that theory too, is you almost have to play this as a hard steal so that the other team doesn't get a chance to set up a deuce on the corner. That's really good.
Yep, came down to the top of the button there. See, our house view appears to be frozen there, so we'll get that figured away. That's more better. So you see them trying to use that knifing action there, Sean.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see as the season goes on just how effective that's going to be. I haven't, as closely as I would have some years, because I'm not playing that much anymore, haven't followed all of the information that came out on the brushing this year. I do believe that they have changed the foam and made it more uniform. And, if I'm wrong about that, I'm sure somebody will jump on and say something about that. But I know that's what they were talking about doing. So I don't know, and maybe none of the teams do. They might still be experimenting with it this early in the season, just how effective they can be at making those stones curl a little extra.
There's certainly, something to it to some respect, but I feel like most curlers are victims of confirmation bias.
Well, and some of it is they did it in the past, so they think they can still do it. But again, there have been more restrictions or more talk about what to do with the foam.
We're going to have a timeout here.
Well, they're going to try to call timeout, but I don't think you get two.
I don't see somebody coming with a.
Maybe they do at the Bonspiel level, like Nationals and Worlds anymore.
Yeah,
it's one.
You get one, yeah. Well, nobody's coming out with a big hook to get Scotty off the ice, so. Okay, so, Coach, where's it go?
Well, I mean, you've got shot rock right now buried at the top of the 4 foot. Oh, pardon me, it was.
Oh, you set me up there.
Yeah, no, that's my fault. That's entirely my fault. It was, Brown's team didn't call the timeout last end. It was Gray Withers that did. Okay, so Jim Cotter out using his one and only timeout, and then Jim and Scott can go to the bar because they're done. Your choices here are you could just lob up another guard. Problem is that you're going to see Gray Withers start to clean things up in the middle. You nose hit that. She's still probably going to play some kind of draw tap on the one at the top of the 4 foot. You could hit and roll just into the 8 foot. You're fine. It kind of looks like there's enough daylight there to chisel in underneath. I'll be honest, that's what I like. I mean, it does a couple of things. It really shrinks the rings. That's what they're going to call. You kind of know Gray Withers is going to have to clean up the middle, but the stagger on those front two guards, there is a chance it's coming straight back. But that probably cleans everything up in the middle, and then at worst, you should be looking at a force. Gray Withers is going to have to make a decision if this is made, and I'm sure they talked about it during the timeout as well. Are we just trying to get out of this, or are we still thinking about getting two? Because if she's thinking about playing to get two, she might have to make a play on that stone at the top of the 4 foot right now. Well, with that rolling away, probably makes it easier to make a play on the guards.
So now they're just going to look to simplify the end.
Yeah, I mean, she's looking to get forced the way she's playing this. I thought she'd maybe hit it from the other side. Try the double, so just off the nose on the red, and then roll your shooter to the corner on the other side. This way, you got to go over the top. You're losing the shooter, and then you're just trying to hold it for a single after that. Brown will keep the house split, and she should at least be able to force you.
Probably didn't want to do that.
No. Wouldn't have had to hit it much thicker, though, to bring that yellow straight back. That could have helped her out. it still might be there now. I mean, there's going to be more room between the two guards this time, so there might be a chance to make the double peel, have that yellow come straight back onto the one in the forefoot, and maybe hold your shooter for a corner guard. Guard has to be made first. The angles are going to get interesting here.
So Colton working on step one of this equation, get the guard up.
That's going to be a really tight guard.
And yeah, I just saw Corryn Brown get caught in between right there, thinking about bringing it back for a second, then maybe not.
You could definitely make the double peel and hold your shooter for a corner guard now.
So Burgess. This is coming up, way up.
Not the corner guard they were trying to get, but it works.
It is on the other corner indeed. Now we're just in replacement mode. Gonna be extremely long. So now play a little quiet wait, hit and roll.
Yeah, you sure could. You got a couple of options. You could roll behind the yellow, or if it over rolls, you could end up on the top of that yellow at the back of the 8-foot. There's a couple of ways this could work out really good for you.
You mean on top of the red-brown rock?
Oh, it's too late in the game to get into that now.
So Catherine Clifford with her first yellow-gray of the 8th. Pass the guard. You're going to get a hit. Now where we get the roll. Pretty good, buddy.
Yeah, that's really good. It's going to force the Brown team into a decision now. Are you playing whole hog for the steal, which is tough because that guard's pretty long. You can't really get at the shot stone through the middle. You can play it from the outside, but then you're rolling away. She's coming to the middle. I think she's throwing a second center guard, a tight center guard now, because that long guard by itself isn't going to guard. Like, you drive for shot rock, they can get to it with either turn. So you really have to throw a tight guard, and you're committed now to play for the steal.
So get this guard up, assume a single peel, then make the best draw you possibly can.
Yeah, I'm not assuming the peel. I think Corryn Brown is coming around, but you have to let her, and then react to what she does, because you're not going to steal on that long guard. You need a tighter guard. This is a really tight guard. It's going to bite the 4-foot. She can play the same shot again.
And then it's going to be a real heap of trouble for Brown.
Yeah, it will be, because now it comes down to, on last shot, she might not have to stay. You know, she might be able to just play hit and roll out, already have her 2 points secured. Now this still has to be made, and it has to be made almost as well as the last one. If you ever roll too far, you might leave her double on the outside.
So Clifford looking for an exact carbon copy of the last shot. Cinnamon now trying to walk it over. Burgess back to holding straight. Really close to perfect. Going to get the hit, get the roll. Oh, that's overrolled a bit, but I think you're okay, are you? I don't know.
Well, I think the double's available, and I think she has to play it. I think the top stone goes over the top of the red. And I mean, you could get away with hitting 3/4, and I still think it goes.
Right, because even if you had drew all the way around the outside, around the outside, around the outside, you'd have that short run back or a draw. So, yeah, I think I'm with you. I think you had to try it. It's certainly not a gimme. That is the call. Pincott's got the broom down.
Not critical to hold her shooter here. In fact, it might not even be beneficial to hold the shooter, because if you roll just a couple inches to the outside, the easiest way to get back underneath that yellow might be to hit and roll. It would be tough to draw there. I don't know where you'd have to put the broom to get it by that on the wide side, and the red guard's in the way to get around the yellow from the intern.
So here's Brown with her first of the 8th. Pick this one up real quick. Not a whole lot of weight. Should be enough. You make contact and you make the double. Hold the shooter. They lie 3. So it looks like they might be taking that. Oh, okay. That's a way to do it.
I think she's talking at, okay, this is the ice we needed to get to here, so how much more do we need? That does not look like a lot of ice to get around that yellow guard.
I mean, to get to a good spot, wouldn't it be better just to kill that red and take a roll?
To me, it looks like the hit and roll is probably easier, because I'm not convinced that's enough ice. It's tough. We haven't seen a lot of draws thrown out this wide, so, and this team did play on this ice last weekend. It is probably their home club too. I don't know that for sure when they're playing out of Edmonton, but probably. So maybe they know a little bit more about the ice and know that as you get a little wider, maybe it holds for a while.
Her first of 2 here in the 8th. Well, it is shot stone.
You can see it through the port. It's a reverse stagger port, but it is there. Not even going to look at that.
They're going to play follow the leader here. Force a draw to the opposite side.
Yeah, she got to the hacks and realized she could see half the rock. You'd have to throw this with some weight, because with that reverse stagger, that port is not as big as it looks.
Yeah, that looks scary to me, Sean. I mean, they're pretty good, but I don't want to throw that.
Well, Corryn has that little bit of a natural set to her release that actually means she can run hers pretty straight through a port like that. I wouldn't hate the call if she wanted to play it. It's not like this shot likely gets you a steal either.
Going back to the draw, I guess, the only possible saving grace is they're going to play the side that hasn't been thrown on for quite a bit. And with some of the other sheets not playing anymore.
Trying to decide if you want to leave her the teaser. Like if you leave a foot of separation, is Grey Withers playing the double for the win? There are a lot of teams that would. Like, rather than play for the tie where you're without last rock in the extra, she might have taken that away because she chipped off of her own.
Some good last minute thinking there, but now you have that double for the win if you want it.
Yeah, she left it. It's a flat double, but it's there, and I think this is a shot you'll see a lot of teams play. Rather than try to score one here where you've got the hammer against you in the extra, you may as well take the shot for two. It looks like she's got enough air coming by the guard. Like if she can hit half a rock, and I think she can, it's there. You
don't have to throw it stupid heavy, though.
No, the second one only has to move, well, because you're going to come close to sideways into the second one. You got to get to the front end of that second rock. If you're dead into the side of it, there's that red at the full 12 foot. If you jammed into that, I think if you jammed into that, you're probably still sitting two. Clearly not expecting a lot of movement here.
Yeah, this is going to have a bit of pace. So Serena Grey Withers.
And their handle is loose.
And they think they can do the old just shimmying on themselves. Making the motion for the technical timeout, but not on the clock. Yeah, they got it situated now. Now they are going to get the tech to come out.
Yeah, you want to be sure before you throw a shot like this, so
throw the wrench on it.
And, give yourself time to make sure that all the other games are done and everybody's off the ice so that everybody's watching you. Let's put all the extra pressure on that you can here.
And now we can think. We can think about the angle a lot. Slice it and dice it. Now I don't know about your home club, Sean. We leave a couple of those wrenches on either side.
I'm trying to make a decision myself. And it doesn't matter. These two are close enough together. This is the way you're going to play it. But if the yellow was second shot and that red was a little tighter to the guard, you'd actually have it off the one in the 12 foot too.
We saw our ice technician dash in.
This just looks so tight by the guard. Like if she just releases this clean, I with where the broom is, I think she's already on the guard. So she's planning to have just a little bit of a positive release. It'll still come at the end.
Absolutely. It's a good view of it there. We often mention the stones. You see the outer part of the stone is the coarser grain granite, what's commonly referred to as Treffer granite, with that insert of blue hone, the finer grain in the middle of the rock, which is really what most modern competition stones are now. But after all that housekeeping, here we go again. Grey Withers, the final stone of the eighth end. Facing two, looking for the double for the win. Off and on. Really close. Rex on the top guard, and it is not to be. It'll be a steal for Corryn Brown, and they will take the victory here by a score of 6-4.
Yeah, that must have just moved on him at the end because they really weren't on it that hard most of the way down, and she just rubs on the way by. I thought she had it when they were off and on.
I was definitely thought that shot was there, but either way, a pretty well played game by both squads, Sean.
Yeah, hard for them to feel bad about this one. I mean, they do have to get back on the ice later on today, and that's the thing with small pool round robins. You've got to turn it around quick. I mean, every loss could be so big. Last weekend in one of the divisions, I think as we went into the last draw, there was a chance that 2-2 wasn't even going to get a tiebreaker. So you could afford one loss. You probably still make the playoffs, but you're really up against it early in a draw like this if you take a loss in the opening round.
Absolutely. And our next broadcast will be at 4 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Mountain. Stay with us here on Curling Stadium all week. For Sean Joyce and Connor Sims, I'm Dave Schmel. Thank you so much for watching.
Live curling rocks. And this November, the best in the world are coming to Tahoe. Get your seats now at gsoctickets.com. But hurry, early bird pricing ends soon.